Welcome to the Merlin Crypto Market Update located on the X app. I'm Abs, the host and senior engagement officer at Merlin, and today's episode features a replay from our Merlin X Spaces. Every other Tuesday at 8:30 p.m., you can catch us live on the X app at Get Merlin Crypto. We dive into captivating discussions about cryptocurrency and blockchain technology with our engaged audience, special guests, and the founders of Merlin. Please note, these spaces can sometimes experience technical hiccups and end suddenly. It's all part of the experience. Thanks for tuning into the Crypto Market Update, proudly brought to you by Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto.
All right, everyone, welcome to the Merlin X Spaces. We will be getting started momentarily. I will be bringing up Abs, our host. So listen to some of Johnny's favorite beats. All right. Welcome, everyone, to tonight's X Spaces from Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. Tonight, we will be going over U.S. government bullish on Bitcoin, XRP confirmed on CME as well. My name is Jeremy. I will be the moderator this evening, as well as one of the co-hosts. I'm the Chief Finance and Operations Officer for Merlin. You can follow me on social media at Age of Jeremy. Your host this evening, as always, is the amazing and talented water tuber Abs, Merlin Senior Engagement Specialist, and also the host of the Good Morning Crypto Show. The Good Morning Crypto Show comes to you Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern from the 3T Warrior Academy YouTube page. You can also follow Abs right here on X at 3TGMC Crypto, and that might have changed, Abs. I will let you correct that as you come to speak here in a moment. These spaces are brought to you by Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. Not only can you use Merlin to track your coins across wallets and exchanges in one simple, secure web app, Merlin allows you to set up exit strategies for your coins so you know when it's time to sell. Please follow Merlin here on X. You can also follow Merlin on LinkedIn at Get Merlin Crypto and on Instagram and Threads at Merlin_crypto. Here on Merlin X Spaces, we enjoy debate, but please keep it family friendly and please be respectful. We want these to be an inclusive atmosphere for everyone to share their thoughts and opinions. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities such as Merlin or Merlin's parent company, Blockheads, that they represent. And with that being said, I will kick it over to our host this evening, Abdullah.
What's going on, guys? How we doing tonight? What's up, Jeremy? Thank you for that introduction. I'm actually home tonight, so I had to run and lock up the dogs if I sound like I'm out of breath. But that mission is accomplished, and I'm excited to get into the X Spaces. I see we got Johnny, Mario, Jeremy. We're going to be bringing up a bunch of other hosts as well. I DM'd a bunch of other people like Mickle. Anybody feel free to invite Mickle to the space, or Nick the Crusader. That would be amazing. But Johnny, let's start off some introductions, bro. How you feeling tonight? And thanks for being here.
Well, I'm feeling great, Abs. I'm not as beat up as you are from the tube in this weekend, but good afternoon and good evening to all the Warrior Maniacs out there tonight. We love and appreciate you guys for following and for joining tonight. I'm excited. There's a lot of stuff happening in the crypto space. And as we're all healing up from taking our bumps from the Mad Viking and our water tubing course, although we did innovate some new stuff. So if you guys get a chance, check out the Twitter page to learn about Tuba Wars. That was really, really cool. But I'm excited to be here tonight, Abs. I can't wait to hop into it. And I think our friend Jenna has joined us as well. And hopefully Mark Yusko is going to stop by as well so we could talk it up, because it was a really, really exciting weekend at Bitcoin 2024 this year. Sounds like we had some presidential candidates that really like crypto.
Shout out to Jenna, guys. I'm super excited. Jenna, this is a surprise for me. Johnny didn't let me know you're coming to the spaces, so I'm super excited to see you. I think you were at the Bitcoin event. If I'm remembering correctly, I saw pictures of you at the event. So feel free to talk about it. And how you feeling, Jenna?
Hi guys. Well, I feel awesome. Thanks for inviting me up. I have not been on for a while and I miss you guys. I hope you're all doing well. Yeah, no, I did go to the Bitcoin conference, but I was in and out like a robbery. I went in on Thursday. I really just went for the karate combat event, and then I ended up being able to get press passes for the Bitcoin conference. My son made geisha shoes. I'm sorry, he's clomping all over the house. He's so crafty. I just love it. So anywho, yeah, but I went to it. It was really cool. I actually got to meet RFK Jr. at the karate combat fight, which was awesome. My phone was dead, and some guy was like, "Hey, can you take my picture with him?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I had the camera up like on the guy's phone. RFK walks by, he takes the phone and snaps a selfie with me, and I'm like, "Oh, hey." And we chat a second, and he gives the phone back. I look at the other guy and I'm like, "I am so sorry." And the guy's like, "It's all good. I'm happy for you. What's your number? I'll send you the picture." So it worked out. It was cool. But the conference was insane. And you know what I loved about it? I always had this misconception that it would just be a ton of Bitcoin maxis and I would hate it. And that's whenever I was like in the echo chamber of, in the XRP call, which I still love XRP. I still hold it, whatever. But it was nice because there's just so many other people that are into so many other things, and DeFi, and, layer twos on Bitcoin, and just so much. And there was just so much going on. Like, I wanted to meet with everybody I possibly could, but I just didn't have enough time. So next time I go, I believe the Bitcoin conference is in Las Vegas next year. I'm definitely going to get there the day before, stay for the entire thing, actually be able to create content. It was honestly like a whirlwind and trying to take it all in. It was my very first Bitcoin conference ever, but we'll definitely be back. I just so grateful I even had the opportunity. But yeah, did you guys get to go?
I wish, Jenna, but honestly, I'm 100% going next year. Whether Johnny Crypto, I can drag him with me or not, I'll be attending the event, and I think I can convince him to come with me. So,
Yeah,
but the
Merlin,
biggest.
just
Oh,
real
go
quick,
ahead.
Ab, Merlin does plan to be at the Bitcoin conference next year as Merlin.
Boom,
So
you guys heard
Yes.
it
means
here.
Ab
So
will be there as well, and we'll be working on a conference circuit here shortly now that Bitcoin conference is over. So we're already, I think it's consensus that we're already speaking with for their conference, and we will be doing a lot more conferences this next year. So it'll be fun.
that does sound fun, Jeremy. And if you're looking for us, guys, we'll be wearing the Merlin t-shirts. But my biggest takeaway, Jenna, and I want to get your thoughts on this, was that it seems like no matter where you lean politically, whether you're right, left, independent, everybody's becoming pro crypto. And we saw some more updates on that today with, the SEC dropping the case in Binance, where they were alleging that Solana, Cardano, Matic, even some stable coins were unregistered securities. So there's a ton of developments coming when it's from a pro crypto standpoint. And you brought it up, XRP. We're still being dragged through the mud with this lawsuit. But to me, things really are more optimistic than ever. And it's so easy to be bullish on this space right now, whether you're looking at Bitcoin's price chart or some of these other altcoins, maybe even some of the lower caps. But just the sentiment around crypto, it's giving me that early 2020 vibe. Right after the COVID crash, everybody was in despair. And then we ran up to about $12,000 to $18,000 for Bitcoin. all the optimism was in the air before we broke all-time high. That's what I'm feeling right now after the Bitcoin event. But you were actually there, so I do want to go back to you. Do you think that is that kind of how you felt after the event? Is that a big takeaway you had?
Well, I mean, okay, so I try not to go with the hype factor anymore, guys, and that's probably why I'm so freaking boring now. Honestly, my focus has been on the IFC fight and everything, but definitely, I do believe we'll break all-time high with Bitcoin soon. It's just a matter of when. But it is a huge bullish sentiment, and now obviously the Democrats are like, oh, hey, yeah, we want to talk about Bitcoin. We want to like crypto. But at the same point in time, it kind of really sucks because XRP got dragged through the mud with all of this shit for so long. And now it seems like these other ones just might end up getting a free pass, which totally sucks. Like, does having regulatory clarity now matter? I don't know. But it's like Ripple had to fight this crazy battle, and now like, oh, hey, now it's okay. Like, I don't know. It's a lot. But yeah, no, everything, the sentiment was really, really positive. And also everybody's so excited. Like if Trump gets in, with Ross Albright getting free day one and everything, the OG Silk Road, Bitcoin, all that. So it's just pretty cool. But no, definitely nothing but positive, bullish sentiment.
That's awesome, Jenna. And you talked about Ross. My biggest statement from Trump's day one action was the firing of Gary Gensler. Now, people said that might actually not be possible for a new presidential candidate to do that, but it's really funny. Mario, I do want to get some of your thoughts because we haven't actually gone to Link with Mario yet. I'm still not used to calling you Link with Mario and not the Node Defender, so respect to you, bro. How you feeling? And thanks for being here.
Hey, bro. Good afternoon. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all doing good. Yeah, you could just say Mario. You don't have to remember Link with Mario or Node Defender. But yeah, I changed my name. It's now, or my username. It's now Link with Mario. But happy to be here. A lot of friendly faces. Haven't been on one of these in such a long time. It's definitely good to hear Jenna. Excited to hear Mark Yusko if we end up getting him on the show. But it's obviously good being here with Abs and Johnny. We were on the Good Morning Crypto this morning, but Jeremy, it's not often that we get to do one of these crypto spaces with Jeremy, so that's exciting. Last weekend was awesome. Got to spend time with most of you guys. But yeah, crypto space is interesting. It wouldn't be another day in crypto if we didn't have crazy news, and this news that came out with the SEC dropping the allegations against all of these tokens is just it's tremendously hypocritical. I think Jano was spot on with the feeling of XRP had to, or Ripple had to fight for XRP as much as they did and spend the millions of dollars and be in court for almost 3 years at this point. And there's just a free pass when it comes to all these other coins. But another day in crypto, the narrative is changing. The politicians want a piece of the action. And so, yeah, I'm excited to talk to you guys about this.
And Mario, why does it sound like you're in outer space though? Sounds like Johnny's in a fishbowl, and then when you came on, you were talking from a walkie-talkie from outer space.
He's an astronaut.
He's an astronaut. That's true.
I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like very similar to Johnny when Johnny's in the fishbowl.
What's wrong with the fishbowl?
Nothing's wrong with the fishbowl if we can hear you, which we heard Mario very, very well. Yeah. So I'm glad you're here too, Mario. Back to you, Abs.
I don't think that's a fishbowl, Jeremy. I think Johnny's just out on the lake, guys, if I'm being honest. But Johnny,
that's probably very true now.
Johnny, one of the things that we can talk about from a funny perspective is how quickly everything's changed, because you can look at it from like the narrative of just in early July, all these altcoins pulled back 30-40%. And it seemed like crypto Twitter was just overly negative, like super pessimistic. And then because of the Bitcoin event this weekend, because of the developments we've seen with the Ethereum ETFs, we got spot products trading, we got XRP added to the CME. I just want to hear what your thoughts are on how quickly things can change and what that means to you going through your second crypto cycle.
Well, Abs, there's a lot of hypocrisy out there, that's for sure. Things changing left and right. But I think what you're seeing is finally the maturation of this, or the beginning of the maturation of this industry. We're in the very, very beginning. It's very early on. But this is the part where, the big boys have decided they're going to play, and they are in it now to play. And so now you're seeing the nerds and the geeks, all of us getting kind of kicked to the side while they come in and take over this space. And so you've kind of gone through we're not through all four phases. Phase one, first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you. And we're kind of still in the fight you stage, but we're kind of coming now, I think, a little more closer to the end of it. And that'll really, I think, come faster depending on who wins the election this year. So the election will have ramifications, I think, on this space. Although we did now hear, that the current administration, the VP, if she runs, says that she's going to be more pro crypto, which we could talk a little later how much we really believe that. But overall, I'm not surprised by all the swinging and swaying we're going to see. We're going to see a lot of it. You're going to see a lot of pulling in different directions as really what's really happening behind the scenes is this is a power struggle, because you're talking about the power of money shifting from one group of people to another group of people, and so they're battling each other for that power. I mean, that's just how it works, and we're kind of sitting back in the middle trying to figure out what's going on because we don't see behind the scenes what's really happening. But at the end of the day, here's the good news I tell everybody. We're in so damn early. I know it feels like we're late, but we're in early. We haven't even really seen, I think, the beginning of this industry as it shifts from speculation to utility. So the fact that we're here early, the fact that we're invested in the space, and we were able to kind of front run the typically the institutions who are here first, we're able to front run them, which means when they put their money in, they start driving things up. We're all going to benefit from that. And that's the part that has me excited. That's the part that keeps me motivated, because I know there's a ton of money. And then the masses aren't here yet either. Don't forget, there's only 5% of people in this space right now, Abs. 5%. 300 million people invested in crypto. And there's projection to be up as high as 2.5 to 3 billion people who are coming into the space. So that just goes to show you how early you are. So you got to kind of just be patient. You got to be able to shift through all this noise. You don't want to sit here and look at every little thing. It'll drive you nuts. Just sit back, know what you hold. And boy, in 5 years, we're all going to be sitting on Jenna's island, and we'll be able to hang out with Jenna on her boat and be able to maybe imagine what we could do. Imagine the tube wars we could have when we got all that money sitting on Jenna's island on Jenna's boats. That'd be cool.
You know what I love about that, Jenna, is that he didn't even wait for the invite. We're automatically invited, according to Johnny Crypto. So shout out to my friend. But Jenna, floor's yours.
Listen, you guys are always invited, always on my island, anytime you want. No, I don't want to turn this political or anything. I just don't trust Kamala. Like with like, okay, now you're gonna come in and you're gonna say, oh well, we're gonna have conversations about it and everything like that. Because you saw how well things were going with Trump and how people support him. And okay, so now this is actually an issue. Is this going to be like the deciding vote, this factor and everything? But they saw how much he was getting in campaign donations. But the way that she talks around in circles with everything, I can see them totally like still getting rid of like, no, I was just saying we would have conversations about it. I don't trust. No way, no how. We've already seen how they want to play this game. Sorry, lady. That ship has sailed. Just my 2 cents.
Right.
And also with the early thing, I still agree, Johnny, but now I don't know if you guys are seeing like on TV, I swear every other TV show or movie you're hearing something about crypto. Like it is so far out there now, so it's definitely getting in people's ears. More normies are asking about it. So I think you're right. I think within 5 years, Johnny, for sure, it's going to be mainstream.
Yeah, and I think, Jen, I'm glad you opened the door and I didn't. So since you brought up Kamala, I'll go through the door. Although I'm going to get myself in trouble, but I'm not going to dive into politics. I don't care. I'm just going to dive into facts, and the facts are this: she was vice president for 4 years. This past 4 years, and so whether you love or hate, I don't know where anybody on this space stands. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican. I don't give a crap, right? Because most people are centrist anyway. We're mainly in the middle, and we kind of side with both sides depending on the topic, right? But the reality is this: the past 4 years has been an absolute attack. The SEC has wreaked havoc on the crypto industry, and so you got to look and say who was in charge. Because don't forget, the president appoints the head of the SEC. Okay. And oh, by the way, the president can also remove the SEC chair. So when Trump says he's going to fire him, theoretically he can if he has cause. So it's not just as easy as saying, "Oh, I just want to fire you because I don't like you." He's got to have cause. So the guy has to have done something illegal or didn't do his job properly. And so theoretically, you know, you can go in there and say, hey, you know what? You messed up on the FTX. You completely blew it. I think you messed that up. And he can put some kind of calls together and fire him for that. So my guess is that's what he'll do if he wants. So the president can remove the chair if there's cause. But anyway, getting back to my point, the president selects him. In this case, we know Biden picked our friend Gary Gensler, your friend's Gary Gensler, right? Everybody thought he was going to be crypto friendly. What happened? He ended up being the most anti-crypto. Him and Warren over there are probably the most two anti-crypto people in the world. That has all happened under Biden's watch with Kamala as vice president. I'm not being subjective. I'm just telling you a fact. That's what has happened under their watch. So my point is, if Kamala was pro-crypto, well, where was she? Where was her voice? Why wasn't she saying, hey, I don't agree with this? Where was all of that, opposition? Like, hey, we should be in favor. You didn't see any of that. All of a sudden, now that she has a chance to run for president, and she sees Trump being very pro-crypto and RFK being pro-crypto, and they learned, from the facts that 50 million people, Americans, have crypto, and 20% of the voters said crypto will be a deciding factor on the vote. Now she flips and says, oh, hey, I'm pro crypto. I'm going to talk to Coinbase. I'm going to talk to Circle. I'm just saying, do what you want, believe what you want. I can't tell you what to believe or not believe, but I can tell you what I believe. And I believe that's a bunch of horse bullshit. You can't tell me 1 minute you're anti-crypto and all of a sudden now you're pro-crypto. And just because you talk to Circle, Ripple, and Coinbase, I'm going to believe. Now, I'll tell you what. I said it today. Good morning, Crypto Jenna. This is what I would believe. If she comes in, in the next 3 months and convinces Biden to fire Gensler before the election happens, okay, I believe action. Show me some action. Show me you really mean you're pro-crypto. Get rid of Gary before the elections happen. And then I'll at least have a little bit of hope, or I can then at least start to maybe believe that you're serious. But until I see actions, words are useless, meaning and cheap. So that's my.
Action, action. We want action. ACT.
There you go. Show me some act. What do you think?
Yo, Johnny, spitting the truth. Yes, I love it.
What do you think, Jenny? You think she'll fire Gensler before the election?
If she's smart, she will. If she's smart.
Yeah.
We'll
Well,
see.
I've
doubt it.
I've
I
seen
don't believe
Elon's
it.
tweet of her trying to answer the question of how to handle inflation. I'll leave it at that. But I do want to.
Is she trying to be unburdened
Yeah.
by what has been? I don't know what's going on.
I don't know.
Can't
But I
figure it
want to
out.
hear from the audience today. So I hope you guys are going to come up. I want to hear your comments. I want to hear from everybody in this chat. Do you guys believe Kamala is serious when she says she's now pro crypto? I got to hear from the audience tonight. I hope some of you come up, chime in, and tell us just, whether you believe or not. Or, what do you think? Do you believe she's being serious, or do you think she's just trying to court votes? I really got to hear from our audience, Ab. So hopefully you can call some up and let's get a read from them.
Well, Johnny, there's no such thing as a coincidence, right? And I think the timing here is uncanny. The fact that she's had 4 years or 3.5 years to talk positively about crypto, but now she's deciding to make phone calls to Coinbase and Circle and obviously Ripple as well. We can take the positive approach to this and say it's exciting that they chose to talk to Ripple as well as Coinbase and Circle. But the more realistic approach is they know exactly what they're doing. This whole movement's been intentional, and I think they understand that the whole game of regulating crypto to a point where it can be centralized, it's already happening, and the U.S. is lagging behind. So we're going to see huge changes at the end of this year, regardless of what administration comes forward, even if it's Kamala Harris. I think that the way the SEC has been interacting with cryptocurrencies, it benefits nobody. Doesn't benefit the business, doesn't benefit the American government, it doesn't benefit the regular everyday investor. So that whole thing is coming to an end. And I think Gary Gensler is probably going to be used as the facade to say it's Gary Gensler and it was all Gary Gensler's fault. When the reality is there's a whole group of people, there's a whole administration, a whole, I don't know what you'd like to call it, conglomerate behind the scenes that has been actively diminishing cryptocurrency, specifically to people like me and you, and telling us not to buy these things. I do want to kick it over to Gonzo. First of all, guys, happy birthday to my man, Gonzo. Gonzo, happy birthday, my friend. I know you're out on a cruise, so I want to give a special shout out to you for taking the time to jump on today. We missed you on Good Morning Crypto, but I'm sure you've heard some of the details. We got big news in the Binance case. We got XRP added to the CME, and obviously we saw the Bitcoin convention kind of change the sentiment throughout the last week. So I'm going to bring up a couple of these requested speakers. But Gonzo, how you feeling, bro? And thank you for being here. Happy birthday.
I'm doing really good, man. Just enjoying my vacation. I appreciate you saying happy birthday. Thank you. I've missed you guys. But yeah, man, I just been kind of relaxing. I've been on top of things a little bit. I found it interesting that, the price action, reflected the bullish speech or what happened with Loomis and then and Trump. And then all of a sudden, we got a correction today, probably because, there was some talk about, the government's Bitcoin wallets activating, moving the Bitcoin over to Coinbase. So some people thought maybe the government was going to sell the Bitcoin to get back at Trump, but maybe it's just the U.S. Marshals moving their Bitcoin to Coinbase because that's who's going to custody, right? So they're all kind of narratives, bro. It's all the plus plus, regardless of who wins. I think we all win because we're in crypto. We're early in the cycle. We're getting close, right? We're getting really close. We've talked about Bitcoin dominance on the show. We're close to 60. We're going to need Bitcoin dominance to top out. But until we break 73K at the all-time high, then I think we're just kind of moving sideways. And I think we're going to see volatility into the election, right? If people think that Trump's going to win, the market's going to rally. If people think that Harris is catching up to him, then the market's going to correct. And we're just going to get kind of volatility, which is kind of what we expected, right? I was leaning into that. We're going to repeat a 2019 move where we could see a lower low. But if we do make that lower low, then I think that's going to be the final of any entries that you're going to get, because we're getting close. Q4 2025, I believe, is going to be the end of the bull run. I promise you that there's going to be all kinds of narratives, especially if Trump wins. They're going to tell us it's going up forever. People are going to come into this market thinking that we're just getting started, and it's just going to play out, I believe, like it plays out in every cycle, right? We're talking more money, more market cap, but it's always a narrative that takes us up, and it's always a narrative that takes us down. And so the true test of how serious these guys are about regulation or how much they support crypto, it's not in the bull run, right? It's not right now when they're all trying to get votes. It'll be after we top out. It'll be into the bear market and the narrative that takes us down to see who's still left standing, being supportive of crypto, or who kind of changes their narrative to match the bear market and they kind of flip again, right? The true test of a project true test of a project or a blockchain isn't in the bull run. It's in the correction, right? It's in the bear market. It's in how the company is run or how the project is run. It's how much runway they have, all of those things. So that'll be really the true test to see who was just trying to get votes and who was actually here for the asset class. But I'm super excited, bro, because we're getting close. And we're early, but I think if we get one final flush in Bitcoin to make a lower low, I think that's the final to get in.
Yeah, first of all, let me say, Gonzo, happy birthday to you, brother. You're a trooper, man. You're on a cruise. Hopefully your wife is gonna kill you for being on the call with us. But happy birthday, brother. We miss you, and but appreciate you being here, and hopefully don't get you in trouble. But I think what may be different and unique, and I'm gonna take a little different approach here, is while the narratives will play out no matter what, I think the election will have a difference, because I think if Trump wins, you actually are going to get a whole flood of pro crypto. Especially if he puts a chair in that becomes pro crypto and he allows innovation to happen and regulation happens. I don't think we're going to be in the standard, this whole 4-year bull market cycle that everybody's used to. I think that goes away. So this is where I kind of disagree with the rest of the world. Everybody thinks we're just going to have 4-year cycles. I think we're going to go back to 1997, and it's going to be a bunch of institutions and innovation on the way the stock market went up it was a 4 to 5 year bull run from 97 to 2001 before the internet bust happened. 4 years of just a massive party of money flooding into the space. And I think that same thing is about ready to happen with crypto once we get the regulation, which starts with a pro-friendly president and a pro-friendly chair. When we get that, we get regulation, and then I think it's game over. I think you're going to see innovation companies popping up you never heard of before, money popping in everywhere, and it's 4 years of excitement or 5 years, whatever, until it busts. and then of course all the riffraff will get squeezed out, and then you'll have your speculation to utility phase that happens, and that's another 14 years later, and that's where you kind of go sideways for quite some time. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. I don't think the 4-year cycles will have some kind of play in it, but I don't think they're going to be the dominant play anymore, because it's no longer going to be just about Bitcoin and the 4-year halving. Now it's about companies creating new technologies, and you're probably going to see more of a bull run in the stock market on these companies like Coinbase and Ripple and all these other companies that do go IPOs. You're going to see a shit ton of IPOs and a major bull run in the stock market. How that translates in the crypto market, that's still to be determined, but I think it'll follow the stock market, and it'll just be a massive, like I said, 3 to 4 year run rather than 3 months, 6 month run, and then 4-year bear market. So that's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong, but that's kind of where I'm hedging.
Agree with you, Johnny. And not to give a cheap plug here, guys, but this is exactly why we talk about exiting the market in a timely manner. Nobody knows what's going to happen. And if Johnny's crypto's case scenario comes to fruition, that would be amazing. And a lot of our listeners are going to make a ton of money in the process, but nobody has a crystal ball. And for the time being, we could see a situation like we've seen the previous 3 cycles where Bitcoin goes from gradual to hyper growth to major collapse, right? And so I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen. I have absolutely no idea. I don't do any TA. I just report the news, right? So this is not my strong suit. But what I'm going to be doing personally is creating an exit plan and figuring out exactly when I can exit this market just to get my initial investment out so I'm playing with house money. That's what Merlin allows you to do, whether you use Coinbase, Crypto.com, private wallet. Doesn't make a difference. We're a software app that can connect to basically any application in the US. You can create an exit plan, figure out your profits and losses, and also track your entire portfolio in one location. So that means you can track your Coinbase, your Ledger, your Uphold, all from one place within our app. And I think it just makes the whole process of figuring out what your profits are much simpler. So I'm looking forward to using my exit plan this bull run. I'm not excited about selling a ton of crypto assets. That's not necessarily what I'm an advocate for. I believe in this technology for the long term. But one of the mistakes I made, Johnny, is that when we had a ton of profit in 2021, I didn't pull enough money out of the market. And I think that's something that I'm going to do this time, where it's an adjustment. I'm more bullish than ever. I think anybody who listens to our show on a daily basis knows that. But one of the things that I didn't do was exit the market in a timely manner. And just taking your initial investment out really can protect you, because we don't know when we're going to go into this bear market. So I did think if you guys, or if you're looking to create an exit plan, if you're looking to connect an exchange, check out Merlin. 30 days completely free. You can type in Merlin Crypto on Google. We'll come right up. And I think it's just very simple. Connects to any of your exchanges. Give us some of your feedback. If you don't like it, you can cancel it without being charged. So really exciting, guys. And that's why we actually talk about the application every day. I did want to go to Kelly because she's our guest speaker. So shout out to you, Kelly. Thanks for coming up here. We appreciate it. Hopefully you're the first of many. But what's on your mind? And thanks for coming up here.
Hi guys. I was just
I love you.
love you. What a funny story with Kennedy. I saw that too. I saw that he was the one taking the picture. That's funny.
It was awesome.
Yeah, so I was just coming up, Johnny asked about, Harris, and I think that she's kind of just doing more of this reactive stuff right now. I think obviously inevitably that it's going to be here and it's going to stay. But I think she's being reactive. I mean, she was the one saying it's the Bitcoin was the currencies of the criminals. So it's kind of a funny thing just seeing the switch like that. But yeah, so I was just sharing that.
I wish I was surprised that that's what she had to say about crypto. But my family's actually from Boston, where Elizabeth Warren is the senator, and she's the leader of the anti-crypto army. So all my friends, all the family up here were anti-crypto until we started watching Good Morning Crypto, Johnny. So shout out, get your family watching the show, guys. If you want to convince them about cryptocurrencies, you're not going to be able to do it yourself. Give them a couple of content creators, send them in the right direction. And whether you get them started with Bitcoin, just understanding the fact that our fiat money is valueless and backed by nothing, that game is coming to an end pretty soon, Johnny Crypto. $35 trillion in U.S. national debt. We passed that number yesterday. That means every single American, if the debt was distributed evenly, would owe about $107,000. So pretty interesting. Big numbers we're throwing around. But Johnny, floor is yours. What's on your mind?
Can you imagine that, buddy? You're born, you come right out of your mother's womb, and you owe $107,000 to the government. You don't even know what food tastes like yet, and you owe 107K already to the government. Thank you very much for the debt. No, thank you. We really need a new system, Abs, but we ain't gonna get one. So I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like we are. But you can see why there is a lot of push, and why RFK was talking about, hey, if we can have Bitcoin or something that's limited supply, that's the key. Having a limited supply of a monetary source, so that we don't end up in the situation that we're in today, where you can just print us into oblivion and devalue and put us in so much debt. So the system's broken. That's just the bottom line. But shout out to Kelly. Thanks for coming up, Kelly, and giving us your thoughts. Appreciate that. And it is bad, Abs, that we $107,000. You're born, and that's your first gift when you come into the world. Must be nice, right, Abs?
Hey, everybody. I just want to remind everybody that Merlin was made by retail investors for retail investors. And the reason why that's so important is because we did a lot of research with each and every one of you, our clients or our customers or our friends, so that we can make Merlin what it is today. So having conversation with you is so, so important. If any of you want to come up, we'd love to invite you up for you to share your thoughts, to share what your thoughts are and what's going on with what happened at the Bitcoin conference in regards to Kamala Harris or in regards to Donald Trump. As long as we keep it peaceful and family friendly, we would love to have you come up here, because each and every one of you here is the reason why we created Merlin. So please raise your hand. I'll bring you up. Or if you don't feel comfortable with that, go ahead and throw a question in the chat and we'll be more than happy to answer it. And while we wait for some people to throw up their hands, I'll kick it back over to you, Abs.
Yes, guys. And Johnny, I actually forget what you said. Can you remind me of what we were talking about really quick? I totally lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Yeah. So
He pulled a Jenna.
My bad, Jenna. I'll take credit for this.
Jenna, I love it. I'm so glad you're back, Jenna. It's good to have you. We missed you. We know you're training for karate combat or whatever they call it these days, but we'll be in your corner. But excited to have you back here. We miss you on the show as well, so hopefully we can get you on Good Morning Crypto again soon as well. But one of the things, Abs, you talked about, you said 35 trillion. Let's talk about that number. So 35 trillion in debt. But I've been seeing projections, and you also hear Raul, Paul, and other people talk about the crypto space and how this crypto industry is going to grow to about, I've heard anywhere from $13 trillion market cap to $30 trillion market cap. Could you imagine, Abs? We're sitting at 2.5 trillion today. Imagine another $28 trillion coming into this space. And all of us here, everyone in this chat, are in this space. We are so early, guys. And that's why Abs is right. You got to have an exit plan. And unfortunately, Abs, we didn't have Merlin in 2021, and you paid the price, right? As you said, you didn't take enough profits. We all made that mistake. Coach even says it. I say it. None of us took a lot of profits because we didn't have Merlin, and it wasn't keeping the track of the markets for us. But that's the beautiful thing of why we invented it, guys, is A, you can bring all your crypto in one place, and B, once you get it in there, you can create your exit plans, and that's it. You set it and forget it. You don't have to worry no more. Now you can go and play tennis or softball or bowling or whatever you like to do, boating, do whatever you like enjoying in life. You don't have to worry about looking at your crypto portfolio every 5 minutes, because you're going to get alerts when it's time to sell, and then you can go sell, rather than worrying and looking at your phone all the time, wondering, should I sell? Should I not sell? You can make your plan ahead of time, and you can rest peacefully, with that peace of mind, knowing that Merlin is there watching the market for you and going to let you know when it's time to sell based on your targets. So for me, I'm excited, Abs. We now have a tool that we've given the market, all the people here. As Jeremy said, we built it for retail. We built it for you guys. We built it for us. I'm not lying. We also wanted to use it. It's for ourselves. At first, the funny thing is, if you remember, we built it for the academy. It was just going to be like in the academy. And they're like, wait a minute. To do this right, we need an app. And then we're going to build an app just for the academy. Like, wait a minute. Why hold it to the academy? Let's give it to everybody. So you all have ability to use it. Just go to merlincrypto.com and try it out 30 days free. And I would encourage everybody here to please follow all our speakers. Follow Jenna. Follow Mario. Follow Abs. Follow Jeremy. Follow Gonzo. Follow myself if you like. And we're always putting out content. We're always trying to give you updates on what's going on in the market. just so that you have awareness. We're never going to tell you what to do. We're never going to ask you for any money. So if you see, and there's a lot of scammers out there. So if you see any anything asking for money, that's not us. We aren't going to do that. The only thing we have out there is Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. So get your exit plan, get ready, guys, because I think over the next 4 to 5 years, there's going to be massive opportunity to make money as the markets go up and down. And if you've got an exit plan in place, you can extract money on the way up and then reinvest on when it hits back down and do it all over again and rinse, wash, and repeat. And there's going to be massive, I think, opportunities over the next few years to do that.
Yeah, and real quick, before I know Jenna has her hand up as well, but Jen at Crappy's J here on X asks, can anyone go to the Bitcoin conference? My gut is saying that anybody can go and purchase a ticket for that, but I personally have never been. So Jenna, since you were just there, is it able just to go and buy a ticket to the conference just like any other conference?
Yeah, of course. Anybody can buy a ticket for the conference. Actually, I know like Chris Cyborg, I just saw she posted you can do 10% off plus the early bird tickets right now because they've already listed for Las Vegas the dates and everything for it. But yeah, you just buy a regular ticket, buy it early, save money. If you pay in Bitcoin, I think you save an extra 21%. So that's also nice. But you can do the regular package. They have I think like different tiers. So it depends on how many things and how hard you want to get into it. I know the whale pass is ridiculously expensive, but yeah, anybody can buy a
Perfect.
pass.
Thank you, Jenna. I know you had your hand up, so I don't know if you had anything else that you wanted to add before we go over to Jason.
I did what just to add on to what Johnny was saying about Merlin, you know what? It's good for your mental health. And not enough people talk about that, but when you're in crypto, honestly, it can start to consume your life if you're not careful. We all love it. We all want number go up and everything, but day in, day out, just staring at charts, checking coin market cap. Guys, I have to be honest, like doing this karate combat for 2 months, it has been one of the best things in my life to get away from the charts. I was looking at them 6, 8 hours a day while I was learning trading, and that's fine. But even since I bought into XRP and I've been, let me see, buying since 2017, 2018, buying crypto, you're every single day can start to consume you. You can be now, if you have Merlin and everything linked up, you could be at the grocery store, you could be wherever you are, living your normal life, and an alert's going to go off. Hey, you're getting close to your target. Okay, cool. Let me check out and go home. Okay, it's happening. We're pumping. Or hey, your alert went off. Okay, great. Now I have time to move my crypto, this and that, but it erases that fear, and it does. It allows you to sleep better at night, and that's huge. And not enough people talk about that because seriously, it's a lot. It can really take
Hey,
over.
Jen, I'm really glad
That's
you
all.
said that because now, you know what? I think, Jeremy, what we need to do is market it. You know, NyQuil, the help you sleep better medicine at night? Maybe we need to market Merlin as the help you sleep better app at night. But, Jenny, you bring up a great point. Hey, I also want to throw a shout out to Star Dogs. I see they're in the audience as well. They've been big supporters of Merlin and partners with us, and we love Star Dogs and what Darcy Donovan and her team is doing there in building NFTs to help folks get into the movie industry. So, if you are like me and want to be an actor all your life, check out Star Dogs. That is a really, really cool project that they have going on there.
Hey, Jen, I just have a question before we go over to Jason for you. How'd you get into karate combat, and how does one get involved with that?
Well, randomly, George from Cryptos RS, he hit me up and he was like, "Hey, Jenna, you want to fight in IFC?" And my first response to him was, "Hard no. Like, I've spent too much money on my face. Like, I just put money into my grill, getting these braces off." But then the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I think it's about believing in yourself, stepping outside of your comfort zone and kind of pushing yourself to the limit, but also doing it for you and doing it for your community. And I thought, well, hey, is it going to be an even fight? Will it be someone with under a year experience? And they're like, yeah, we can work all that out. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's do it. Let me find a coach. I'll be honest, it's not really about the money because you don't get paid that much to do it, to be quite honest, like unless you're probably like on the main card, but otherwise you just have to have a little bit of a following, want to do.
Oh, I don't happen, but someone muted everyone. I am guessing because myself and Abs have the only ability to do that, that it was Abs.
Jeremy, that's what you call not only throwing someone under the bus, but actually kicking them onto the tracks, waiting for the train to come, guys. So I do apologize for that. That was a total accident, Jen.
I
Sorry.
do expect you to do the same thing to me
No, it's
if I'm
okay.
able. Like, what just
It's
happened?
okay.
That's
Listen, I don't know when it got muted, but you can email IFC and contact them. If you look up Influ
Yeah,
Fight Club, you can email to be part of the roster. And same thing with Karate Combat. You know, if you've been in martial arts a long time, have fighting experience, you know, send them an email with your resume and everything. But George is actively looking for fighters to join the roster. And we need girl fighters, by the way. Girls, it's fun. Just get in there. I need someone about 120 to 130 to fight with.
that's all.
So I'm still looking. I've had a couple people back out on me. Wendy O blocked me.
Oh my gosh!
Challenged her. She blocked
You
me.
should
I was
keep
like, come
challenging her.
on.
Just keep doing it until it
Yeah.
happens, and then I'll try to support it and however I can get her to do it as well. Against you. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. Jason, I know that you came up to speak. I know Diamond Hands, you have your hand up. I'll come over to you in a second. But Jason, did you have a question? And then after a question, it'll go back to Abs.
Yeah, how's it going, you guys?
Doing
Good.
well.
How's it going, Jason?
Oh, not too bad. No, I guess the question I had for you guys was, you hear a lot about different projects, or different platforms to go for to help you with trading your crypto, when to get alerts and everything. And how do I know like Merlin's the right one for me, I guess? Like what's the go-to? Like I don't know how to word it.
I think I know what you're asking, Jason. I think you're asking what's the differentiator between like Merlin and some of these other applications. From my understanding, Merlin is the only app that can offer you the ability to create an exit plan and give you the ability to actually execute on that. So I don't know of another product in the market, and maybe you can fill me in if that exists. I've seen some other products that are much worse. They offer much more limited features. When it comes to actually comparing our app to what other applications are offering that somebody would consider a similar product, in my opinion, just looking at what we offer compared to others, Merlin stands alone. So it's really the exit plan and the ability to connect to not only your exchanges, but to your wallets as well. So we can connect to your Ledger and Coinbase. That's very, very unique as well. So I guess those would be the two differentiators. But if there's anything else more specific, I don't know if that answers your question, but I tried.
Yeah, and
No, I think that does.
and Jason, I can add to that real quick before you go further, just to add some to that. One of the biggest things that we wanted to make sure of is that you guys had the power in your hands. So Johnny Crypto woke up one day and went in one of our competitor apps, and there was a coin that said that he was a millionaire, and he got super, super excited. He was jumping up and down. He was doing backflips into the lake, off of the tube, jumping around, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And the problem was when he looked at it, where it had imported the data about what coin it wasn't accurate, and so he wasn't able to go into that competing app, and he wasn't able to change and have the ability to manipulate the data that was in there that was coming and feeding in. So one of the more magical things, no pun intended, one of the more magical things about Merlin is you have a lot of a choice and ability to manipulate and change the data that's in there that's being imported. So for instance, even if the information is coming in correctly and you don't want it to show inside of how your data is being aggregated and showing in what are your profits and losses and your average price and so forth, you have the ability to change those things. And then along with that, you have the ability to input any type of information that you want into it if there is some type of wallet or exchange that we currently don't have, but we're currently working on having more and more available as we continue down our roadmap. And then the last thing that I'll say to that, Jason, and then I'll give it back to you, is that our roadmap is making it where in the future, as we continue down our roadmap, we don't want you to go anywhere else. So our goal is to have the only one app to rule them all is going to be Merlin. So I want you to take that into consideration as well, as starting right now and being able to getting all the information in there. It's going to make it a lot easier for you based on the exciting things that we have coming down the pipeline from our roadmap.
Yeah. In a nutshell, basically, we've designed it where we've looked at all our competitors, we've seen what they can't do, and we've made sure our app can do it. We put all the power back in your hand, Jason, so that if your portfolio doesn't look right, you can fix it. If your average price doesn't look right, you can fix it. If you want to get exit out, you can create your own exit strategy. We've done all these things that no other app does, and that's why we are the most powerful tracking app in the world. So give it a shot. Here's the best part. you can give it a shot for 30 days free. You can use all features in our app, and you can cancel right within the app after, within 30 days if you're not interested. Because, most places when they take your credit card, you got to call back and you're talking to India or you don't know who you're talking to try and cancel. We don't do any of that. You don't have to pick up the phone at all. You can just cancel in app. So there's no risk to try us out for 30 days free. Just go to www.merlincrypto.com, sign up for your account, and try it out and let us know what you think.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I know I looked at it one time too, and then I know it was something with my email was I forget what it had said, so I'll have to take a look at that, see if I have a new email for it then. But yeah, I know you guys talk it up on the morning shows too, so yeah, I'll have to take a look at it.
Yeah, check it out. And if your email is giving an issue, whatever, here's another thing we have that most other ones don't have. We have a live customer service team. So when you call, guess what? You get to talk to a human and not a robot. So do that too. Give us a call if you're having trouble signing in or creating your account, and we have live help. We're a small company right now, so 4 hours a day. You can call us in. We will help you get started.
Johnny Crypto, Merlin is a pro-human company. That's what I like to say. And we stole that quote from Elon Musk, right? When he was talking to the Neuralink guy. Or actually it was to ChatGPT. Jeremy's the one who told me that story. But thanks, Jason. I appreciate you coming up here and asking that question. And if you watch the show as well, I heard you say you might watch the show. So thank you. We definitely appreciate that. If you can, comment in the live chat there as well. We love to pull up comments. And I want to actually pressure Jenna into coming back on Good Morning Crypto. But I won't do it on this Spaces, Jenna. We'll reach out to you another time. We'll put the pressure on you because we'd love to have you back. But Johnny, give me some of your thoughts. We got Mario here, and then I want to go to Diamond Hands.
Hey, you guys, I'll mute my mic here, but thank you for everything, and yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Yep. Hey, Jake.
And real quick, Johnny, before we kick it over to you, Jason, I do want to let you know this Thursday on our Merlin YouTube, we also have what we like to call it's a Q&A essentially, but essentially what it is Abs, our senior engagement officer or specialist, and then Mario, the head of our customer support. They do a live, and you can go and ask as many questions as you want. They'll have the app available to show you how it works. So again, we are a very pro-human company, and I'm going to coin that and figure out how to take that from Elon Musk and any company moving forward, because that's what we want. We want to make sure that you have all the answers that you can have. So check that out. It's on Merlin Crypto. I think it's Get Merlin Crypto is our YouTube. So you can go to Get Merlin Crypto, and then that'll be this Thursday. So,
hey, Jeremy, I'm seeing a new tagline here. Something like Merlin, the pro-human smartest way to sleep better at night.
that also tracks your crypto.
That also.
Jenna, that sounded more like a paragraph than a slogan, but
it sounds, it's like you're like I don't know, like a badge of honor if Elon sues you, right? You can frame it.
Yeah,
I'd go for it.
Yep, pro-human.
While I have your attention, sir.
No, but you know what, Jenna, the actual story, and I want to share it shortly, Jeremy, is that back in the day, Elon Musk was communicating with the guy who runs ChatGPT, and I'm forgetting his name right now, but Elon and him got into a big discussion, or I guess argument, that ended up forcing Elon to leave and step away from the company, where he was accused of being too pro-human to be a part of ChatGPT. So I thought that was pretty interesting, especially because Elon, I didn't even know he was 100% human. I thought if anyone's an alien, if anyone's a cyborg, it's Elon Musk. So the fact that he's sticking up for us mortal human beings, you got to appreciate that. You got to appreciate that the aliens are actually doing more for the humans than the other human beings right now. But
yeah, I'm not going to get into Sam. It's Sam Altman is probably who you're thinking of. I know that he also had a similar conversation. Who was it with Larry, or one of the people that founded Google, about being pro-specious because he's of this species? I remember you telling me that one too.
I just want to understand. So if Sam isn't pro-human, then what does he think he is as a human
I don't know.
being? It's an interesting rabbit hole to go down, guys, but I don't want to waste our time here. We can leave those stupid conversations for Elon Musk and Sam Altman to have by themselves. We got another guest up here, Diamond Hands. I'd love to go back to the crypto conversation, Diamond Hands, but thank you for coming up here. We obviously appreciate you joining the conversation, and what's on your mind?
How you doing, guys? Hey, Johnny.
Hey, Diamond Hands. How you doing, brother?
Oh, good. I just wanted to hop on and say hi to everybody. I really appreciate you guys doing this, and appreciate you coming up with Merlin. We had looked into it, my wife and I. She's the tech savvy person. I'm the Brute construction guy. So she had a few questions. I know I had DM'd one, and then the second one was, is there an app, an actual phone app that's gonna come out soon?
That's a great question, Diamond Hands. I'm glad you asked that. We are in the You know what? Everybody asks us that question. So right now, we initially, to get it out there, we designed it as a web app, so we can get it out there quick, and it can work on any and every device. It's a responsive app, so it works on phones, iPads, tablets, anything and everything, and it fits the size. So it looks and functions just like an app. So you can just go to www.merlincrypto.com, create an account, log in, and then you can save when you're on your phone. You can just save that on the home to your home screen, and it puts an icon on your phone, and then you just launch it like an app. But to answer your question, yes, we are in the process of developing an app right now as we speak. Our CTO is not here on this spaces, James, because he's designing the app for us. So we are in the process of developing that, and hopefully in this quarter, our plan is to launch it. So we'll first launch on Google first and an Android platform, and then we'll follow that up with an Apple app thereafter. But so that is in the works. But I wouldn't encourage you to wait. I would, not sit tight. You can sign up now, get your app going on the web, and then when we have the app, you can simply just download it and log in. It'll be and it's the same thing. But so I wouldn't wait for it, because if the markets start going up and down, you're gonna want to have your portfolio. In fact, I tell everybody, don't wait until the bull run to create your exit plan. That's the wrong time to do it. You need to do it now, while everything's calm, everybody's patient, your mind is, you're not emotional because nothing's really pumping yet. This is the time to be planning and doing, getting your exit strategy set up when the mind is calm. You don't want to be doing that in the middle of a storm, right? So, but thank you for the question. The app is in the works, but until then, you can try Merlin out for free. Just go to our website. There should be a link below or somewhere in this spaces. If not, just go to www.merlincrypto.com. Thank you for the question.
Okay. Awesome. It was nice talking to you, Johnny. And then I do have another question on the DM, and you can just answer that whenever you want. Yeah. And then just thank you guys for being, doing this, and thanks to the panel and everybody. So appreciate it.
Yeah, man, no worries.
Thank you, Johnny.
I'll check out the DM. And while I got you up here, because I am curious, I'm trying to get a poll. I don't know if you heard the beginning of the conversation tonight where we were talking about Bitcoin 2024, and we know where the presidential candidates stand now, and we know that Trump and RFK are pro crypto. We know Kamala's now throwing her hat in the ring and saying she's pro crypto. I'm curious. Do you believe her? Do you believe she will be pro crypto after if she were to win the election? Do you think she would continue to remain pro crypto? Just curious of your thoughts.
I think yes. I think it's I've paid attention to all the. I really don't listen to the news, but I have been lately, and they're really pushing bipartisan. So that's the repetitive word that I'm hearing. So it sounds like it's gonna be okay.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for your input. Appreciate that, brother, and thank you for coming up. And we welcome you always and anytime.
Thank you. I have to hop off. We have some other stuff to do, but it was really nice talking to you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one and in the morning for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you, Diamond Hands.
Thank you so
God
much,
bless,
Jason.
guys.
And two, I have another question here from AKA Bob Johnson 589. How about a GMC cruise when we go to the moon? What say
Guys,
you, Abs?
not only is it going to be a GMC cruise, it is going to be fully funded and fully sponsored by Johnny Crypto himself, not Merlin. We're swiping Johnny Crypto's credit card for
Crypto,
this
good for
cruise,
the
guys.
crypto
Wait a
cruise.
minute. This is GMC.
I support that. I support that. Is it
I like the
bad?
sound of that.
Oh my God! I think we got a GMC. I guess we're gonna have to get the CFO of GMC on the phone and see what he thinks about that cruise, going to the moon in that cruise ship.
Is that not also me?
Yes, it absolutely is. But yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Johnny Crypto is dying laughing, guys, and we're keeping it lighthearted
I
tonight.
would
And
love it. Nothing
of
would
course,
please me more than to see us all going to the moon together, man. and it's going to happen.
We could get a cruise, an actual cruise ship that could do water base and then actually also take us to the moon. That's what we have to figure out. That can be sponsored by Johnny Crypto.
And what would be really cool is while we're going to the moon, can we hook up tubes to the back of the spaceship? We can tube
They battle each other.
battling tubes. Like instead of water tubes, we'll have space tubes. How about
Space
that?
battling tubes. Oh my gosh, where's this going? All right, Abs, we have another request for a speaker. John, I can't see the last part of your name, so I'm so sorry. But John, did you have something that you would like to add or a question that you have? The floor is yours.
Hey guys, just want to say, a huge follower, a huge fan of you guys. I really thank you guys for what you're doing at the space. But real quick, anybody know what's the status on the Ripple documentary, XRP documentary?
So the last we heard, we know that they're in the editing process and they're working on getting distribution, and that the plan is to hopefully have some kind of distribution by the end of this year, so Q4, to be on some streaming service, whether it's Netflix or Hulu or whatever. We haven't heard exactly. The last I heard is they're still working on that to find out where that distribution is going to come from. So, but I know that they're working on multiple series and there is some interest in it. So, fingers crossed that we'll get to see something hopefully by the end of this year.
Brad, thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks for the info. And then, keep making your impact on the world, man. GMC all day.
Shout out to my man, John Parent, guys. I want to give a shout out to you too, my friend. Thank you so much for not only watching the show, but the positive comments and for coming up and joining the conversation. I want to give a shout out to my man, JJ. Jason, I see you out there too. I follow you. I appreciate how you're always commenting and tagging me and stuff on Twitter. I do find that super helpful, guys. I always tell people, and this is a comment for John, that the whole reason we started the show was to actually meet more people like ourselves. And I think we've accomplished that. I think, Johnny, you would agree that the whole intention behind the show is to connect with like-minded individuals. And I feel like the more our community grows, the bigger and the better it gets, the more we get to meet people who are just kind of like a reflection of ourselves. So I definitely appreciate when you make kind comments like that. And thank you so much, John. Thanks for coming up here and thanks for being so kind.
That's right, Abs. We do the show for the people. You know it. I mean, if anybody watches GMC, you know we engage with the community. We love when you guys. We have probably the best chat room in the space, or I would say at least our chat room is extremely active. And you'll notice we read the chats and we try to answer your questions because we're here for you. I mean, at the end of the day, not only are we here to kind of share our knowledge and our thoughts, and we tell it like it is right from the heart, as authentic as possible. But and we could be wrong, right? We're not going to be right all the time. But we love engaging with you guys because it's a cool two-way conversation or two-way way to kind of get what you guys are thinking too, and hopefully answer your questions. So keep them coming. We love chatting with you guys. We appreciate you guys supporting GMC, supporting 3T Academy, and supporting Merlin. It all goes together. We're all helping each other in the community. It goes two ways. So very, very happy that we can continue to do that. And thank you guys for continuing to be there and supporting us.
Johnny, and closing note on that topic, I think one of the most exciting things is that when we go through this next bull run, and we didn't have GMC back in 2020 or 2021, when we go through this next bull run and prices are pumping, all of our listeners, everybody in our community is going to be sharing that moment together. All the prices go up for everyone's ledger at the same time, for everyone's Coinbase at the same time. So I'm excited to see what happens over these next 6 to 8 months when our community, who's been here for 2 years, 3 years, doubling down, learning new skills and applying them to the crypto market, when they're able to actually profit off that and they've earned that and they can celebrate and do whatever they'd like, I think that's probably going to be the most rewarding feeling. So we could be on the next 6, 8, 12 months could actually be the best 6, 8, 12 months for our community out of these past 3 years. And I'm excited about it. I don't know what we want to talk about next. So Jeremy, I'm actually going to defer to you. Do you want me to get into crypto topic? Should we keep talking about this?
Well, I just want to add real quick that Ivy at HFP4539 said XRP is up, Abs. I want to hear your take on XRP being up.
Well, guys, I'm actually just waiting on a text from cousin Kenny right now, Johnny.
Well, I was just going to say, I was like, we got to get Kenny up on this if XRP is up.
Yeah, I'm sure. Listen, I know whenever XRP goes up or down a half a cent, because my cousin's texting me every 4.5 minutes. Oh my god! But anyway,
Ivy might be Kenny, but I'm not 100% sure.
No, Kenny's flipped the switch or switch flip.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. Yeah.
Well, but I will say this: Abs brought up something that's actually very interesting. In 2021, we did not have GMC, And we did not have Merlin in 2024 or 25. We have both Merlin and we have GMC. It is going to be extremely interesting, Abs, to see and hearing people talking about, how Merlin's been able to help them exit. And we're all going to be talking on GMC, how excited we are when things are pumping and humping and pumping, right? It's going to be really, really cool to see the markets going up and we all get to kind of enjoy that moment together. Like you said, man, oh, baby, it's going to be exciting when everybody's going to be planning their Lambos and their boats or whatever else they're going to buy. Although I would tell everybody to get an IUL. I don't know. Oh, maybe I can't even say that. All right, I've been
You
but
can
anyway, so
100% well,
oh, can I
never mind.
say that? I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Oh, what?
An index universal life insurance policy is one of the best ways to protect your principal. So if you're interested in learning more about that, it is not affiliated with Merlin or 3T Warrior Academy, but you can reach out to Johnny Crypto, myself, Abs, or Mario, link to Mario, and that's what we'll say about that.
Yeah, but you're gonna want it's gonna be exciting, Abs. We're gonna have I can't wait for that moment where we're all just having those great moments on the air and we're watching things pumping and it's gonna be beautiful and it's coming. It's coming. It's only
I can't believe it's really up 6%
Yep.
right now.
yeah.
Like, this is pretty incredible.
Kimmy's going
Give
after
Mario
the question
65
right
cents,
now.
guys. Fuck
Kimmy just
yeah.
went out and bought a
Wait,
Lamborghini.
Hold on, let me check my phone. Let me see if he texted me. No, he texted
Hey guys, real quick, any Canadian crypto individuals in the community, Brown Lee at Corey Brown Lee, I'm assuming, asked that. I just throw that up. Yeah, so any Canadian crypto individuals, reach out to Corey. We have a bunch of them in the 3T Warrior Academy. The head of our customer support is actually, her name is Jalissa. You can find her on LinkedIn. She does some amazing think tank articles for Merlin, but she is the head of customer support for 3T Warrior Academy. And she is Canadian. I won't say where she exactly lives. And we have amazing Canadian community inside the 3T Warrior Academy, which a lot of those individuals are part of the Merlin community as well. So I encourage you to reach out to us about the 3T Warrior Academy because there is an amazing crypto community in Canada. And then the last one, go ahead, Abs.
I was going to say, I actually was reminded by Jackie today, only 5 weeks until we're all back in Arizona again for the retreat. So I'm super excited about that too.
But you know what we can't do in Arizona are Tube Wars, and AKA Bob Johnson 589 says Tube Wars and I'm assuming buffets. Tube Wars and buffets. Love it. 3T Merlin GMC. Awesome people. Thank you so much. AKA Bob Johnson 589. We appreciate you. And Tube Wars are amazing.
Yeah, they certainly are. And hopefully we'll be able to get a bigger boat and a bigger island, and then maybe we can bring more people. It'll be exciting someday to be able to do some tuba wars on Jenna's Island.
I want to give a shout out to Mario too. Mario, so a lot of our people know, because I feel like I repeat it every time we talk on air or every time we talk on these spaces. You've been in crypto since 2017, and I just want you to speak a little bit to that because it's interesting what happened in 2021. The entire narrative of the cycle was trying to predict, trying to speculate, when could we get futures, when could we get regulation. It seems like this cycle is different because all of the things that we were speculating on 4 years ago are actually coming to fruition. We got stablecoin bill, presidential candidates that are pro crypto. We got spot products for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're probably going to see them for Solana and a couple of other altcoins as well. But just give me some thoughts on the sentiment and like how this time around, it's not about what we're predicting, what we think might happen. We're watching these things play out before our eyes.
Yeah, 100% Abs. And this is my sound coming a little bit clearer now?
Much better, Mario.
Okay. So yeah, 100%. Look, if we stop and think about it, this is the most clarity the crypto space has ever had. In all the 14 years of its existence, this is the most clarity any of the crypto assets have had. And so for XRP has been facing this very difficult challenge over the last few years with being accused of being a security by the SEC. And so that's also coming to an end. And I think that the price is going to reflect it very, very soon. So yeah, I missed a little bit of your question, Ab. Sorry. If you could repeat it.
Yes, sorry, Mario. So what I said is back in 2021, so we don't have to go all the way back to 2017, but back in 2021, we were all talking about what we think or what we thought might happen. We might get spot products. We might get regulation. We might get a pro crypto candidate at the head of the SEC. And for a time period, believe it or not, anyone who's been here long enough knows that before Gary Gensler came into the SEC, everyone thought he was going to be very pro crypto because he had taught an MIT course. He clearly explained that he understood the technology. Well, this time around, we're seeing the opposite end of that, where we don't have to speculate. We're seeing these things actually come into fruition. So I just wanted your comments on that, and then we'll continue.
Yeah, right. So I mean, absolutely. And the way that I see it, look, adoption is only going to improve and is only going to get bigger. And I believe that once regulation comes in, it might get a little bit ugly, and it will probably get ugly from a perspective of the projects that are not looking to comply. Those projects are going to go away. But ultimately, the projects that are looking to comply are going to stay around, and they're going to thrive. So it might get ugly before it gets better, but ultimately, you know, it's only going to improve from here. The clarity is only going to improve. You know, the fact that we are coming to a close on a lawsuit for the XRP, I think that, or for Ripple, I think that, you know, the price, and we talk about this all the time, and it's kind of it kind of gets a little bit of annoying and cliche at the same time, because one of the things that, and it's not just us, it's a lot of content creators, you know, the price of XRP is primed for upward price action, and I really believe that it is, because a lot of good things are happening in this last quarter, or in this quarter, Q3 of 2024. There's a lot of very important, you know, parts of in Ripple's realm that is happening that could put XRP in a really good position and could make XRP price obviously reflect that. So yeah, I'm completely on board with you. And, you know, as far as being in the space since 2017, you know, it definitely proves that I've got patience. At some point, I'm probably going to start to get embarrassed every time that, you know, I have to say that, yeah, I've been in the space since 2017. I've been invested into XRP since 2017. But for now, I think it's safe to say that it's a tremendous investment opportunity. Yes, it's an asset that's been lacking behind as far as price action, but to me, that's screaming opportunity. And until, you know, this cycle, or this bullish cycle, comes to an end, I think it would be foolish to think that XRP is going to miss out on a bull run, because even in the last 2021-22 bull run, it was under fire from the SEC, and it still went from, you know, it still did a 10x. It still went all the way up to $1.70, $1.80. So to think that it's going to miss it this time, I believe it would be a mistake.
John, I want to give you the floor as well, but I just want to point out the fact that Cousin Kenny has entered the chat. And Johnny, how interesting is that? XRP is pumping as we're speaking. We went from 62 to 64 cents. And Cousin Kenny, Cousin Vinny, whatever you'd like to call yourself, we were just talking about you, and here you are. So you got to come up here and join the conversation. I did just want to get John's thoughts, and then we'll continue. John, floor is yours.
I just wanted to piggyback off of Mario. You know, you have to think of what the solution Ripple is trying to solve, and how that is going to help institutions. Well, if we think about the reputational risk, strategic risk, corporate risk, risk to the organizations, any company that is in litigation is going to cause those institutions to pump the brakes. Once that clears, I mean, it's like the dam, the water's going to flow, and you're either going to go with it, or you're going to be the rock that the water moves around. So buckle up.
And real quick, before we go over to Johnny to comment on Switch the Flip, and to give the floor to Switch the Flip, I just want to let everybody know that the Acquainted here on X put in a comment that Fruition Films just released a tweet about the documentary. It looks like 2 of the 6 episodes are completed. So my guess is that maybe they found a distribution platform, and once those 6 episodes are all through mastering, they will get a release date. But I just wanted to give that update to everybody. And back to you, Abs.
Well, there you have it, John. Once again, we called for Cousin Kenny. He shows up right away. We call for the Fruition Films update.
Let's go.
Well, so guys, what do you want next? What do you guys want next? You want $100,000 Bitcoin? Let's see if we can make it happen, Johnny Crypto. Floor is yours.
Yeah, first of all, I believe when they said the 2 I'm trying to reach into Chris, who's the producer for the videos. I believe when they say 2 out of 6 complete, I think the editing is done, it's complete. I don't know if it's complete means they have distribution yet. I think they just were getting the fully editing done. But anyway, nonetheless, I'll find out and get back to you guys on that as I hear back from him. But It is exciting for that. It is exciting to have cousin Kenny switch to flip or flip the switch in the house. So, Ken, come on up. We'd love to hear from you. How excited you are. I think I'm hearing the XRP's up 6%. I'm surprised my phone hasn't been blowing up. But how you doing? And what are your thoughts on XRP?
I am working my second job to accumulate more XRP as we speak. I'm at the Earth, Wind, and Fire and Chicago concert at the Bridgeport Amphitheater. And it's exciting to see you guys live because I know something must be happening. I'm not looking at the price because if it's not over $5, I don't give a shit.
All right. Well, I guess we finally got to him, Abs, and that's a good thing. I agree with him. Until XRP gets over $4 or $5, will I be excited that it's moving up? Yeah. Am I gonna sell? No, not until we get near some all time highs again. And then for me, I'll start thinking about it. But nonetheless, I do feel that, like I said, XRP still has the monkey on its back. We know that the lawsuit is not done yet. But I do believe, as I said today on GMC, if we get a change in presidency, in the administration, and we end up getting a pro crypto SEC chairman, man, they could end that case extremely quick. Because, again, if Trump is true to his word and wants to create innovation in the U.S., he's got to show that the SEC is willing to work with people. And what better way to show that than to come into office, whoever the new SEC chair is, and the very first thing you do is end the Ripple case. I mean, talk about showing, pro crypto, and talk about showing that the door is open for innovation in the crypto space. Boy, that would send a great signal. And that's what I would do if I were head of the SEC.
But so Johnny Crypto, this is something I haven't asked you yet. I didn't get a chance to ask you on air. When VP Harris' team reached out to Ripple, what do you think they were asking about?
I mean, that's the $64,000 question. And boy, would I love to have been a fly on the wall to hear the questions, because based on those questions that were being asked, that will actually tell you if they're really serious about getting into crypto, or are they just doing it so they could check the box and say, hey, yeah, we talked to these guys, and court over all those 20% of voters that care about crypto. So I don't know, Abs. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I know the questions, but boy, if we can get some insight to what those questions were, that will give us, I think, a good indicator as to whether or not they're really serious about learning about crypto, or do they just want to check the box so they can just tie into the narrative of, hey, look at us, we're pro crypto friendly too. Yeah, that's the $64 million question, my friend.
It went from 64,000 to $64 million question.
Yeah,
Just overnight, just in a few short moments.
just like our accounts are gonna do when the bull run happens. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't gonna get that crazy, but yeah.
Agree with you, Johnny. And one thing, so we titled this Spaces, the U.S. government is bullish on Bitcoin, and XRP was added to the CME. I just want to tie this one story into a couple of these articles. And Mario, if I can, I'd like to start with you because you had some great comments on this earlier today on GMC. The SEC is backing down on their claim that Solana, Cardano, and Matic, as well as 7 other tokens, were unregistered securities. So they're now stating that they do not need the court to make a decision on this. They're not even asking the court to decide whether the affected tokens are or are not securities. They just like for this to not be addressed. Now, the tokens that are actually being dropped, Binance Stablecoin, Solana, Cardano, Polygon, Cosmos, Axie Infinity, and Decentraland. So it's really interesting. The SEC currently has a list of 68 tokens that they consider to be unregistered securities. These 10 tokens are going to be removed from that list, but I wanted to hear some of your thoughts on that. The SEC's backing down, yet the Ripple lawsuit is still going on.
Right, and it's the narrative ultimately. We spoke about this earlier in this X Spaces, how it's hypocritical on their part. I think that the narrative has been exposing itself slowly over time. In the very beginning, when Gary Gensler, we started hearing about Gary Gensler becoming the chair of the SEC, due to the fact that he was such he had such knowledge on crypto, being a professor and teaching blockchain. We were all super excited that he was going to be a positive voice for the space. And instead, he's just been, completely the opposite. He's been doing nothing but slowing down innovation for crypto in the United States. And to me, that's over time, that's been screaming, the fact that he's just following orders, he's following a narrative, and now we're starting to see that narrative switch. And I strongly believe that that narrative switch came in the name of BlackRock, because SEC had applications for Bitcoin ETFs in the last bull run, and we were all waiting that those ETF applications being approved was potentially going to be the top of the market. It was potentially going to be maybe the buy the rumor, sell the news, or type of event that we were going to get in the last bull run. And so we didn't get any ETF applications approved for Bitcoin in the last cycle. Instead, it dragged all the way until BlackRock came about sometime last year, and then they got approved January of this year. Then we started to hear that the SEC was alleging Ethereum to be a security, and that went away as soon as BlackRock got involved with wanting a Ethereum ETF. Now, we're getting these drops on these allegations of the other crypto assets that they were claiming to be securities. I just think that, I'm not saying BlackRock is pulling the strings. What I'm saying is that I'm noticing the trend. I'm seeing kind of the narrative shifting. And to me, that's just screaming that, Gary Gensler, whoever ends up replacing Gary Gensler, may ultimately still be answering to the big boss, whoever that is, whoever pulls the strings. And so that's just kind of how I'm analyzing this, Abs. I really believe that, it becomes more of a narrative thing as opposed to who the SEC chair is. And so that narrative change right now is obviously just exposing it to be more pro crypto, and they want a piece of the action. Maybe they've been doing something in the background for a very long time, and it's just now that they're exposing their true intentions of, getting into the space and having everybody know that they're getting into the space. But I think that nonetheless, there is tremendous opportunity for us as investors. And obviously, there may be the dark side of all of it, like I just mumbled on for the last few minutes talking about, but there is tremendous potential for us as investors to be able to capitalize on this. Yes, we may not agree with BlackRock and kind of how they do things. Sometimes we may not agree with the fact that crypto is becoming more centralized, but the fact that it's becoming more centralized is in reality the way that crypto is going to be put into the hands of more people. It's going to gain mainstream adoption. It's going to be included in tools and bank accounts that millions of people already use around the world. And that's really the fastest way for crypto to gain this adoption. And that's where the opportunity of investment comes in for us. So that's how I see it. There's the negative side, but ultimately I think that we are seeing history in the making. This is literally a brand new asset class that we are seeing and living through, and we saw the inception being very difficult. The phases that Mark Yosko talks about all the time. First they laugh at you. Now that we're in the fight stage, and we're seeing the adoption take place and the regulation being created. So the fact that we're here is kind of like this internet moment, which I was too young to take advantage of. And now we have like a new type of internet moment where a brand new asset class is here, and we have the ability to be able to invest and potentially create a multitude of generational wealth for our families. So that's super exciting.
Absolutely, Mario. Abs, did you have any follow-ups to that?
You know what, guys? I'm good at kind of coming up with things on the spot. So let's go into a new topic here.
Yeah,
Because
real quick, Abs. Sorry, I just wanted to see if you had any comments to Mario. But Ivy does have a question, and I think Johnny will like this because Johnny seems to be a quaint or a quant maxi. So what's up with quant? Not 100% sure what that's in reference. I mean, I know what quant is, but I'm not sure what's up with the quant means. Does anybody know anything about what's going on with quant, or does anybody have any comments on that, such as Johnny Crypto? All right, Abs, stop. I can't hear. Oh, Johnny, sorry. I couldn't hear you, sir.
I mean, I guess a little more detail would be interesting. I mean, what's up with quant?
It's doing really, really good, Ivy.
Can you guys hear me or no?
Yeah, we got you.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm not really sure what Ivy's looking for here, other than maybe they're, I don't know. I don't know if the question is regards to the price or what's happening there, but I would just say that, we know quant is working on interoperability, and interoperability is something that I've been saying for the longest time, and Abs can attest to this, that is really the key to unlocking this space. Is you can't have these cryptos in a silo. They have to be working and talking to each other. And frankly, I've been seeing a lot more activity on the Link side right now, because Link also is similar to, very similar, if you will, to Quant in terms of trying to create interoperability amongst the chains. So right now, you're seeing a lot more news, a lot more relationships, a lot more things happening out in the open with Link and less with Quant. But that's not to say that Quant isn't working things in the background. They are also heavily partnered in this space and heavily working towards creating that interoperability. So for me, I view these pullbacks as a buying opportunity. I told Mario he'd be able to buy Quant at 60. I kept my promise. Quant did drop into the 60s, so hopefully Mario was able to double down and pick some up. But to me, that's kind of how I'm looking at it, is just because you're not hearing about things all the time in the news. Remember, a lot of these companies are signing NDAs. They can't talk publicly about what they're working on or doing, but you are seeing some of, you'll see, these activities, and we know that they've got a lot of activity going on. So I'm still bullish on Quant. And that's kind of my take, Abs. I'm curious if you guys or Gonzo.
And real quick, Ivy added it was in reference to the price action being down.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't worry. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, thanks for the clarity, Ivy. Yeah, on the price action, like I tell you all the time, don't look at the price action. Don't get worried about that. Right now, we are in a lull in the crypto space. Summer is sell in May, go away. Everybody's gone right now, and so you're not seeing a lot of activity. But remember to come back in September is the saying, right? I think we'll see more things picking up. These are just buying opportunities, in my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. That's not financial advice. You have to decide for yourself. But you just have to look at it as the market is going to have times when it goes up and when it goes down. And Quant still isn't, they haven't, nothing has changed technically. They still have a good technology. They still have the ability to provide that interoperability solutions. So for me, I'm still bullish on them, and I just look at these as opportunities. And I've been DCAing in them, frankly. But don't do what I do. You gotta do what helps you sleep best at night.
Yeah, absolutely. And Corey, I wanted to add this from Corey because it did make me laugh when I read it, but it was in regards to when Kamala or her group reached out to Ripple, and what she asked was, is XRP better than Bitcoin? That was the question that they asked. I just thought that was funny, so I thought I would.
They go, both are better than the US dollar. How about that?
That's 100% accurate.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Listen, if you think that question's bad, you should watch her response when they asked her how she would fix inflation. Oh my God! I mean, if we get 8 years of her, it's gonna be I'll tell you what, there's gonna be a lot of good sound bites.
I don't know. I just saw an economist article come in about Florida and the possibility that this might be the year that Florida goes blue with Kamala.
Oh boy, here we go.
The only thing blue in Florida, Jeremy, is the background on my profile picture.
And the sky. That's about
the
it.
ocean, the clear blue ocean. All right.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of blue things in Florida.
All right,
But,
guys.
yeah,
Well, I'm going to kick it back over to Abs. Do you have any thoughts? I know here we're coming up on 10 o'clock Eastern, I think it is. So does anybody have any last thoughts or questions that they want to come up with? But in the meantime, I'll kick it over to you, Abs.
Thank you. I definitely want to say thank you to Jenna. Thank you to Johnny. Thank you to Mario, Gonzo, John, Jason, everybody, Kelly, who joined us. Thank you for listening. Anybody who's out there listening, we appreciate you guys. And these are really fun for us. I very much enjoy doing this. And I feel like everybody up here speaking probably feels the same way. On another positive note, XRP is up 8% in the last 24 hours. That's not too shabby, guys. We're approaching 65 cents here. Here's the last thing I'd like to say in regards to XRP. We have not had a weekly close above 74 cents since the bull market in 2021. So even when we got a resolution and we went up to 93 cents, we never closed a weekly candle above those marks. If XRP can get a weekly close above the 72-cent mark, things are going to get exciting, Johnny Crypto, and maybe you'll be buying everybody that GMC cruise sooner than you think. So I'm going to give it to Johnny, and then we'll end this space.
Hey, Abs, real quick, let me just say this. Please send a message to your friend Cobbs and ask him not to post a chart, not to talk about XRP.
You know what, guys? Eventually, the Cobb curse has to be reversed. That's what I'll say to that. It can't go on forever. It's just not possible, right? The odds are stacked against him. Johnny, floor is yours.
Yeah, I just wonder why everybody comes to me when we want to spend money. We need to start going to Jeremy. He's the money man. Let's remember that. Johnny's the innovator. He's the money man. But anyway,
Wait, what are we buying?
so yeah, so we'll
I had to check a text message.
we're gonna buy a 3T Academy boat, plane, spaceship,
Well,
island,
playing
all that
hands
good stuff.
down. I'm trying to work on that right now. We're working on that.
Attaboy. There you go. That's good. That'll make the flights to Connecticut much, so you guys won't have to hop, skip, and take 3 different flights to get here. But, I just want to share one thing. I did get back. I just got a text back from the Fruition producer, Chris, saying that very similar to what you said, Jeremy, they finished work on the 2 episodes so far, and they are in the process of having conversations with distribution agencies while they're in
Yeah,
development
I have
here.
further
So
information
there is
that I can't say.
Yeah, so that is the information that he just told me that I can say. So that's where they are with it. So no distribution yet, but they're in discussions with that. And 2 episodes are completed, edited, done, and they're working on improving the finalizing those and being able to get distribution on them. But no dates picked yet. So, but that's all right. I mean, these things, he said here, these things takes time, and he's absolutely right. The good news is they're done, and now they can start shopping them around. And so, at some point in time, it's going to come out there, and it'll be great, especially if it hits around the time when the case is over. And not only do you get the ending of that, but you also get the movie. There'll be so much momentum around XRP, and then maybe somebody can answer Kamala's question. Maybe at that point we'll be able to say that, well, XRP may not be better than Bitcoin, but it may be pumping more than Bitcoin. We'll see.
Strong note to end it on, Johnny Crypto. And you know what? I am excited. I got to remind everybody out there just one more time. I'm just sitting here watching the XRP price chart, and it's like Jenna said. She's like, it's so good to step away from the charts. Tonight, I will be watching the charts, guys, and I'll be doing it with my head high, my chin held high, my chest out, Johnny Crypto, because I'm waiting for that 72-cent close that daily close above 72 cents. I am going to be reaching out to Cobb, like Mario said, and see if he's going to be streaming. It would be fun to do something with him as well. But Jeremy, I'm going to kick it to you and we can close it out. Special thank you to everybody who joined us. It is a Tuesday night. So if you're listening to crypto content on a Tuesday night, shout out to you. You're probably in the process of making a lot of money. And with that being said, floor is yours, Jeremy.
All right, thank you so much. Again, this is a X Spaces brought to you from Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. Again, my name is Jeremy. You can find me on all social media platforms at Age of Jeremy. I'm also the Chief Finance and Operations Officer for Merlin. Your host this evening was, as always, the amazing Abs, Merlin Senior Engagement Specialist, and also the host of the Good Morning Crypto Show. The Good Morning Crypto Show comes to you Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern from the 3T Warrior Academy YouTube page. You can follow Abs right here on X at 3TGM Crypto. These spaces are brought to you by Merlin. Again, the smartest way to track your crypto. You can get 30 days for free by heading on over to merlincrypto.com. And remember, if you have more questions regarding Merlin or you want to see a live demo, make sure to follow our YouTube page at Get Merlin Crypto. And Mario, the head of customer support, and Abs will be doing a live Q&A this Thursday, and we try to do those at least once a month. And again, not only can you use Merlin to track your coins across wallets and exchanges in one simple, secure web app, Merlin allows you to set up exit strategies for your coins so you know when it's time to sell. Please follow Merlin here on X. You can also follow Merlin on LinkedIn at Get Merlin Crypto and on Instagram and Threads at Merlin_crypto. Here on Merlin X Spaces, we do appreciate all of the debate, and we really appreciate you keeping it family friendly and being respectful. Again, the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of Merlin or its parent company, Blockheads LLC, or any other entities that they may represent. I want to thank Johnny Crypto, one of the innovators behind Merlin. I want to thank Mario, who is also known here on X as Link to Mario now, so you can follow him on Link to Mario wherever you get your social media. And I want to thank the beautiful Jenna X. You can follow her on here on X and on YouTube at Jenna X Media. Also, we did hear from Gonzo. You can follow Gonzo here, but I, for the life of me, can't remember his handle. So just type in Gonzo3T, and I'm I'm sure something will come up. And for all of the people that chose to conquer their fears and come up here and talk, I appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope that you'll be back with us next month. And with that being said, I'm going to play out this amazing music that Johnny Crypto loves so much, if this is even the right track.
Yep, that's the right one.
Thank you for tuning in to the Merlin Crypto Market Update located on the X app. I'm Abs, your host and Senior Engagement Officer at Merlin, and we hope you enjoyed this episode from our Merlin X Spaces. Remember, you can catch us live every other Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on the X app at Get Merlin Crypto. If you want to take your crypto tracking to the next level, don't miss out on our free 30-day trial at merlincrypto.com. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode.